Welcome to the show. It's deep with a twist. We're laughing through the scriptures where humor coexists. Cultural, come on and take a seat. It's faithful and it's fun wherever it meets feet. Dive into the stories, hear the podcast call. It's Mormon stuff with a smile in the cultural hall.
It is time for another episode of the Cultural Hall. It is an Articles of News episode. There is a light on the interview tunnel, I promise. You know, we'll get into this here in just a second, but joined by the news wizard himself. Every time we visit with him, no, it's not a different Zoom background. He is a co-host with no home.
I am a homeless co-host. That is correct.
And you are, where is this? This seems like this is modern. This is hip.
Yeah, this is my daughter-in-law's home office.
Yes, of course. Yeah, definitely a daughter-in-law, not a son-in-law. Yes, those are generalizations and stereotypes. At me, contact.
What the heck? Yeah,
of
course. Yeah.
I'm tired of being middle of the road. I'm not warm. I'm gonna be hot or cold, baby. That's how you make.
You don't want anyone to spew you out of their mouth.
Yeah, I want them to hate me or love me. I want to be the kind of host of a show that people email my stake president and say, do you know what he said? Do you have any idea what he said? That's where I'm going. That's where I'm done. No more lukewarm here.
Nice. Very good.
I have to tell you, stake president, speaking of, they're redoing another parking lot in my stake.
Okay.
And by that, I just mean they're like repaving it. So we have for the last couple of years.
You'll have fresh lines?
Yes. It's been the worst.
Wide lines, narrow lines, what kind of lines?
I think that they'll be a little bit wider because why not? We have a little fewer people coming, so let's give
getting a little bigger, yeah.
Right. That might be part of it. Truthfully, cars a little bit bigger, but also cars smaller, right?
I was referring to the drivers, not so much the cars.
Yeah,
but yes.
100%. Everyone fights for the one spot under the tree that's going to be shady for the time that you get out of church, and we all know Brother Christensen is parked there every week for the last, whatever. And
that's
so
right.
When that car's not there, we're worried about Brother Christensen because he does.
We all notice the members of the bishopric and stake presidency that park in all the sweet spots before we're all there in the morning.
In fairness, though, good for them. If they want to get to church at 7 a.m, they can have the spot. I'm surprised. This is not at all where I thought the start of this would go. They should have like
designated.
They should have
stake
designated places.
Spot.
Yes, why not? I mean, we honor not the man, but 100%.
Yeah, we're trying not to differentiate, right? We're all one under God. It doesn't matter whether you're a nursery leader or a stake president. It's kind of,
except that the people.
I think we should do nursery leader parking spots. Yes, I would vote for that.
1,000%. 1,000%.
I would vote for that.
Yeah, we don't honor man, president, and always call me president from here on out. We don't do that.
Right. I think I'm annoying the leadership in our ward because I refuse to call anyone except the bishop by their title. So the Relief Society president is Margaret. Yeah. The primary president is Annie.
Yeah.
The Sunday school president is Josh. I don't care.
Yeah. If people come to me and say, it's very important for me that you call me this, I would oblige. I really would.
Well, this shows you your personality. I would go exactly the opposite. Find anything else to call them except that.
Well, you didn't let me go. The other part of what I would do, I would say, you would need me to call you president? Okay. And then anytime that person came in the room, I would go, hush, hush. The president is here, everyone. President. Whatever.
Let's stand in honor of the president.
Yeah.
That's a good trumpet. I like that.
Thank you very much. It's all in the aperture of your lip.
The embouchure. It's
embouchure, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Aperture is
I was a trumpet player until I was a freshman in high school.
Until you realized how nerdy it was? Boom.
It was nerdy, and our high school decided to jettison the band for some reason. Yeah, it was California Proposition 13, get rid of every possible after-school activity except for sports. They protected the sports.
Sure, so, of course they did. Of course they did. Because sports make money, and California cares about money.
That's right.
The stake president, though, redoing has got. I guess we're in line. We're for the funds because we got a new roof on the stake center, which
Ah.
has taken way long. Like they do my private residence roof in like a day. So I don't know if these guys are being paid by the day
So
that
they're
they're
taking
there.
like Richie Stedman waterline time.
Yeah, 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 yes. Thank you for that. Uh, and then they're also redoing the lines in the parking
In
lot,
the
and
parking
it's
lot. Yeah,
great.
there you
And
go.
here's the thing. It's a small thing. I think I mentioned that I emailed the state president and I said thank you, but it's a small matter of pride to be like, hey, guys, our church looks good.
It looks
We
sharp.
are keeping
Yeah.
up on this building.
When are they putting the bike rack in?
They have a bike rack, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
they
They've had
do.
a bike
Okay.
rack for
Because
a
y'all
long time.
y'all live so close to the church, you could walk
Sure,
or ride your bike for
sure.
sure.
Well, and we all know Brother Richardson, he does not ride or drive his car to church. He made the pledge 50 years ago when he moved here that because he was so close to the church, he will never not walk to church. You ever had a guy like that or a gal like that in your work?
Yes. Yes. Yep. And they were always late.
Yeah. Well, but they walked.
Yes.
And just since we're regaling in these fun stories from youth, I always love the story about the teenager that borrowed the dad's car and didn't fill up the gas tank. The on Saturday night when he came home, that was the part of the deal. And so
So they
dad,
had to exercise their faith in the morning.
yeah, well, or dad got up and noticed that the gas tank was gone, was empty. And so he had to walk the several miles to church and then didn't get home until, 11 or midnight the next night, because he had to walk in the sacrifice and all the guilt and shame that the teenager that didn't do that. Now, the teenager should have filled up the gas tank because that was part of the deal. But I even back then remember thinking, I think God would understand if you went and spent a couple bucks on gas and then were with your family instead of walking. Like there's
Yes.
just
Yeah.
such a matter of pride in like and he sacrificed. Okay, I guess maybe it's a
I
faith
guess
thing.
we
I
weren't
don't
that righteous
understand.
where I was in California.
Yeah,
The
no.
biggest problem I caused was wrecking my dad's car late on a Saturday night one time,
Eesh,
so he couldn't use it
eesh.
on Sunday
And
morning.
then the phone call, and he's like, "Well, I'm kind of glad you're all right, but it would have been like a little bit of justice if you would have just been hurt a little bit. I'd feel a little bit better."
Well, to be fair, he made me pay for half of the repairs.
Smart. What
Yep.
kind of car was it?
It was a 1982 Toyota Tercel,
Oh,
bright
the
red.
old Tercel, you
The old
bet.
Tercel. Yeah, and I was cruising Maine with a sweet thing on the other seat, and I was not paying attention to the road in front of me.
Oh,
I'll just put it
Verlin,
that way.
Verlin. Were you smooching between the stoplights?
No, no, no smooching was
Okay.
involved.
I did that once or twice on I-15 going to college. I was like, I probably shouldn't be driving 80 miles an hour and trying to kiss the person in the seat next to me, but I did. But I
No,
did.
now that would work if you had a nice bench seat like my current pickup truck has. Hint,
Well,
hint, Susan.
oh yeah,
So,
Susan. Your hubs want a little smooch in the old bench seat. How funny would
it's
that
not
be?
as fun when it's legal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Or when you have to say, Susan, you want to come smooch in the bench seat? It's just not
That's
as fun.
right.
If she leaves you a little like trail of something out to the truck, you're like, hey, what's going on here?
That's right. Hey, yeah.
I know she listens.
Let's
It's
go
a
to the
suggestion.
drive-in and back up and lay in the bed and watch the movie.
Yeah, drive-ins, right?
Yeah, yeah. We still have one. It's a drive, but we have a drive-in within
It
an
has to be a
hour.
drive.
Yeah. A
I don't.
long drive.
They do a swap meet at the one nearest me, but I don't know if it's still it's some prime real estate. It would surprise me. I haven't been
Ah.
down that part of Redwood
Well, if they're
Road.
still doing a spot meet, they can show movies on the screen.
Yeah, but I think they just
Oh,
were like meh because people
okay.
don't get it. They don't get it.
People weren't coming. This one,
Yeah,
they've played the whole nostalgia thing, and it's really popular. It's full almost every weekend.
I've thought about getting a set of like 100 silent disco headphones
Oh,
and then being able to do like movie night on the back wall of my house.
that would be fun.
Yeah, but I don't like people well enough.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you only spend your whole weekend every weekend with a lot of people.
Well, because then I don't ever have to see them again. But here's the thing. Let me tell you this real quick.
That
I
whole repeat customer thing is kind of out of the
Yeah, no,
window.
I'm kidding. I got to see Scott Hamilton. You know who Scott Hamilton is?
The ice skater?
Yes.
Wow.
I got to hear him do a keynote speak. That was my church yesterday. He's not Mormon,
No,
I was working, and he was the keynote speaker at this thing. That is an amazing gentleman,
I would agree.
and a Christian gentleman, which I didn't know, not because
Good for him.
I had never
Okay.
really looked into it, but
Yeah.
the older I get, the more that I appreciate, respect, and genuinely have, like, when people are like, I feel like Christ called me to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
can say it
Yeah.
publicly. And it's not, and I feel with every fiber of my, like, it's not this like
Just total,
trumpeted, it's just,
genuine,
yep.
authentic. Yeah. Hey,
Uh
I'm hearing, what was his name? Jim McKay, Scott Hamilton, and Dorothy Hamill in my ears watching the Winter Olympics.
yes, yeah. And he
Yeah.
talked about he's had cancer like 1,000 times.
Oh my gosh.
And funny and
Hmm.
charming and
That's great.
a super engaging speaker. And I appreciated that as a religious like devotion yesterday. It's super cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's great. It's great.
And
My religious devotion last weekend was about 10 hours of baseball,
oh
maybe
yeah.
11 hours of baseball.
Which temple did you go to?
We went to Kaminsky Field, well, what
Okay.
was known as Kaminsky Field. I'm going to still call it Kaminsky Field. We went to the Cincinnati Reds Park. I think that's Rate Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, careful how you
And
say
then,
it.
yeah, it was called Guaranteed Rate Park
Yeah,
previously, but it's
yeah.
now Rate Park. And then we were in Cleveland, and I can't remember the name of the
They
stadium
used
in
to call
Cleveland.
it the Jake. I'm not sure what it's called
I
anymore.
don't know, but I was so impressed by downtown Cleveland. My gosh,
Yes.
it
Isn't
was
that great?
fantastic.
Guess what
Yeah,
it used to not be? Great
not
at
great.
all.
So we went to all the baseball, and we were really tempted. Saturday night, well, it was Sunday night actually. We were there, and we left the baseball game, and there's a Coliseum right next door, and
Mhm.
a band was in town. And my son-in-law, and I thought maybe we should go to the concert tonight. And then we saw it was Nine Inch Nails and realized we weren't dressed appropriately.
Oh no, you should
We
have.
needed to wear black and be all gothed up because it was an awesome crowd.
Yeah, well, he's from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, hometown crowd.
Yeah, it was a hometown crowd. It was
Yeah.
it was and you could hear the people out on the streets until the wee hours of the morning for
Oh
sure. It
yeah.
was
Oh
great.
yeah. Yeah. He's from there. His mom, very nice.
No,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
she a member?
No.
At least that's what your companion's cousin's sister told you?
No, no, no. We genuinely met her and she was very
Okay.
nice. You
That's
boys, very
great.
nice.
That's
Well,
awesome.
thank you. You might know my son. Oh yeah. Anything else new? Obviously, you are out and about. You're doing the house with no name. The
We are.
you
Yep.
know.
We're crashing in the son's house, paying him back for, 19 years of living in our, well, I should say 18 years of living in our home.
Mhm.
We kicked him out to go to the Air Force Academy at 18 and he never came home again.
Yeah,
But we're living at his place, commuting back and forth, watching the house go up. It's exciting.
yeah.
Progress is being made. It's crazy.
Will there be a
Um,
dedication? Did you have a groundbreaking where you brought dirt in and then we all stood around and said, "Look, we broke the ground."
Shoveled fake dirt?
Yeah.
Nope. I think that should be banned for all church groundbreakings. Either you break real ground or not, because if
Agreed.
you fail your temple recommend interview, are you honest with your fellow men and your
Yeah,
fellow
you're
beings?
intending
No,
to
not if you're
deceive.
shoveling fake dirt. Come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'll take a stand on that one.
Have you had to be firm in your
Yes, a couple of
discussions with
times
him?
we've had
Okay.
to be firm. Yes, yes. A couple of things we realized, no, that was framed wrong. It's supposed to be a different kind of door in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, Biff, now don't con me. Oh, I meant I was just starting the second coat of wax right now.
There's a good reference. There's
That's
a
what
good
I feel like
reference.
every time I deal with contractors. It's like, all right, stop. Do you realize you have not done this thing that we painstakingly spoke about the last time? Oh, I didn't know you wanted that done. What
No,
part of
no.
I want this done did you think meant I don't want that done?
What we realized today actually is
Mm.
100% of the plumbing and electrical is going to be redone,
Oh, oh, of your
which
house,
doesn't,
the
of the house,
original,
the
not of what
original.
they've already done.
Yeah, no,
Jeez.
they haven't done anything yet, but 100% of the original house has to be redone,
Yeah.
which in my book is great because we signed a fixed bid contract. It doesn't
Yes.
change what it costs me at all.
Oh, that's
So,
great. Was it old bulb and that kind of stuff? Was it?
no, it wasn't quite that old, but
Okay.
it was no longer up to code.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
I mean, I'll tell you what, that's what's great because then you have a bones of a house and then a basically new house.
exactly. They're
Yeah.
gonna they're gonna replace all the insulation in the house 100%.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's
You will
fantastic.
die in that house. That's what Susan
Well, I hope
told
Susan
me.
doesn't kill me in the
Yeah.
house, but yes.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I've worked a ton, so much. Working
You've been
weekends
going
are
crazy.
yeah,
You
weekends
gotta
are insanity for the next this weekend I do a 12-hour wedding and then a 2-hour after party in a different location.
a 12-hour wedding?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's at the
And how
top
much of it
of
is Richie performing time? Are you on 100% of it or are there
I'm on
breaks?
about 75% of it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's at the top of Snowbird, so up at the
Yeah.
very top. You can
Hmm.
ride the tram up, you get a gorgeous view. You pay for it, but
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah.
These people are from Chicago, very kind people. And then their after party is at the top of the lodge down below. They've
Yep.
rented out the pool, and we party in the pool till
Is it a pool
one.
party?
Oh yeah, 1 or 1:30 in the
Oh,
morning with
fantastic.
just drunk wedding guests.
Are you going to run like contests highest splash contest and all that
I think
stuff?
they just maybe I'm totally willing to do something like that. It's all people in their 20s, so I
Yep.
don't know if they are. Yeah, I mean, maybe right if I have the right prize, shots for the
If they're
biggest splash.
imbibing the
Yeah,
you're saying,
yeah,
then
oh
why
yeah.
not? Yeah. Yeah.
But at least at this point, I just know that all they want is just the filthiest of filthy music because no one that is kids or parents, etc., want or yeah anything to do with that after party.
You
And then
don't
I
know
sleep.
anything about that stuff, right?
Oh, I listen. You learn a thing. And then Saturday morning, I get up super early and I go to a place called Marion, Wyoming, which is
Okay.
just outside of Jackson. The only thing in this town is this lodge that I am doing the daughter of the owner's wedding at the lodge,
Nice.
and that will
Nice.
be a forever long thing. And then Sunday, do the Oktoberfest, and then rinse and
Wow.
repeat. Then the next week, I'm in Moab. Do it again and do it again
Partying in
and do it again.
Moab. I love it.
Yeah, barreling
Sounds
towards
good.
November 2nd when I don't have to work for like five
I
weeks.
think you should forward publish your schedule so people know where you are.
Yeah,
They can be on the
I've thought
lookout to
about
get
it.
selfies with Richie as he
Uh,
travels around.
I've thought about it. But back when I felt like people cared, I would have done something like that. I really did. And now it's like, meh, yeah, it's him. He does that.
I think we should do a check and see if anyone listens and asks either one of us for a selfie.
Okay, all right.
Or an ussy, I guess is the
Yeah.
right term, right?
Is
An
that the
ussy.
guy who poorly does the cultural hall? Yeah, that's him.
Exactly. Referring to me, of course.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
To me, of course. The amount of show guilt I have in the last couple of months, I'm like, man,
Oh,
maybe I should just shut this thing down.
no, no,
I
no.
feel like it. Numbers down, very down.
I think
People,
that's just the world we're in right now.
yeah, people not sharing the show. Less Patreon folks. We're not even anywhere near me even
Ah,
engaging in the conversation with talking to my wife about being on the show because there's no threat about having 100 Patreon saints as far as that goes.
okay. Well, it
So,
sounds like we need to have some marketing focus here.
yes, yes. So if you are a
And you've
marketing
got you've
person,
got someone doing speaker focus starting next year, you
yep,
said,
yes,
right?
she's on board. Great
Yeah.
interviews coming in 26, so hang on. But before that too,
Yeah.
I got a couple actually in the queue. We're just trying to figure out a perfect time because as you experienced trying to record this episode, it's like I'm exhausted. How about not right now? How
I
about
know. I cause a lot of problems in the
no? It's
scheduling
great. I
world.
appreciate that you do it. I just feel bad when it's like, yeah, that now thing, that's not going to work. That's
Yep.
not going to work. How
No,
about
that's all right. I was brain dead when we were planning to do it, so I got a good night's sleep
yeah?
since then.
And now what's your excuse? Goo 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 goo. Let us not actually take a break, but let us shift now. We'll say that we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in the second half and do actual articles of news. Let me take just a moment to tell you all about bestdjinutah.com. That is the website where you can learn all about me. Oh, sure, you probably feel like you know me, but you know me in the cultural hall sense. I have a DJ company now, 6 of us strong. Great event hosts, MCs, and DJs that can be able to make whatever event you have coming up absolutely spectacular, and hope you will reach out to us. Now you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Richie, I don't live in Utah. Would you travel? Absolutely, I would travel. Would they travel? Absolutely, they would travel. Whatever your event is, doesn't have to be a wedding or a community event. We can do all sorts of things. I can teach you line dancing. I can dance with you. We can do partner dancing. We can do all kinds of things, but we can't do any of it if you don't hit me up. You can go to bestdjinutah.com. You can fill out the form to get more information or get a quote, and then I will get right back to you. Find out why I'm so busy and why sometimes we don't get episodes of the Cultural Hall. It's all because of bestdjinutah.com. here in the second half of Articles of News. We do those actual articles of news, and so I would ask for him to very kindly come in and just for a few seconds, hit it, Peter.
You can't lose articles of news.
And away we go. Verlin has lined out, how many stories is it? 27? Is that what we're
27? And I think it's 27.
And you got a couple more that we're going to add in. We're doing it. Let's do 27 news stories in the next, you've got what, 46 minutes before we have to end this thing?
46, and then we're out of here hard.
Okay, done. What's the first one? Let's go.
Number one, huge announcement and surprise, General Conference. First weekend of October, there will be 5 sessions, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. I will again register my dismay that we no longer have Priesthood and Relief Society sessions. That's my soapbox. Any comments?
I missed the ice cream. The ice cream part of the priesthood session. My dad would always run the St. George Marathon the first weekend in October. He would sort of cripple walk into the room when we would watch, and then we would go to Nielsen's Frozen Custard on the boulevard with everyone else in the entire city of St. George. We'd be there for several hours. It was a tradition I miss. You just don't do it when you have the whole family. It's not special. That's any night. Not. You go with the family.
I'm hoping this actually changes back at some point.
Yeah. President Nelson, 101 years old. Significant. Now more than a centenarian.
For his 101st birthday, he shows up in Time magazine.
Yeah, I want you to talk a little bit about that. I woke up this morning and because his birthday is the 9th, is that correct? So tomorrow.
That's correct. Tomorrow. 101 as of tomorrow.
As we record this episode, when I woke up this morning, I have the little news prompt and it said, President Russell M. Nelson, president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has, and then it was ... And I was like, what? And then has shared the many things that he's learned as I clicked through it, but No,
the article in Time magazine was an op-ed that he authored and sent into Time magazine, and they published it. And it really is kind of a recap of the high points of what he's asked us to focus on for the term of his presidency. Who we are from an identity point of view, respect for others and being peacemakers, and being willing to listen and understand other people.
And are we doing it? Meh.
Some people are.
Yeah. Side recommendation, and this is a safe recommendation for those that would come at me for my recommendations of books. Not a member of the church, but if you want to read a great book, it's called The Next Conversation by Jefferson Fisher. And if you want to have engaging conversations that are not like you are trying to be right or you're trying to prove the other person wrong. You just want to be able to converse better. It's probably the accurate word for it. The Next Conversation by Jefferson Fisher.
Yeah, nice.
Great. And people love him. It you know how Atomic Habits was huge for building? It's
great book.
It's great like that. It's like that, but for conversations.
Atomic Habits, my favorite book that I've read and thought would change my life, and I've done such a terrible job of implementing it.
Yeah, listen, it's just 1%. I love the Ice Cube. The Ice Cube story from Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
Is that, and for people who don't know, let me catch you up. So you put an ice cube on a table, you're in a room. If the room is less than 32 degrees, you're like, oh, the ice cube isn't melting. But then, tick by tick, it's coming closer to where it would start melting. And then, you get from the 32 to 33 and you go, oh, that was the thing. But you didn't realize that the room started at 10 degrees and that there were the 23 degrees between then and when the ice cube started melting. So it's little steps. And don't be so hard on yourself, Verlin.
Thanks.
Time magazine, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I think it's time someone showed up, all puns intended, it's time someone showed up on national television again. We don't have a Larry King. We don't have a Mike Wallace, but somebody ought to be able to do that drill with President Nelson.
Yeah, but what would he be on? Because if he's on Fox News, half the church hates it. If he's on MSNBC, which isn't even a thing anymore, everyone else hates it.
I know. Bill Maher, HBO.
Okay. Yep. I know. Conan needs a friend. There we go. That's where we. All jokes aside, I would love, like President Hinckley was just so darn charming in those things. I would, and I know Elder Oaks is not, or President Oaks is not the guy that's going to be that, but I do love the charmer being
Yeah.
kind of the face of the church a little bit. I think that gets us further than people probably would think.
Yeah.
And
True.
there's the doctrine people, and certainly the what are we really doing this for? The Elder Oak Springs. I'm not disparaging that, but for me and for my representation, I really like the ones that are like, yeah, I'm charming, and here's a story about a plane ride.
Well, yeah, they seem
Yeah.
more approachable and they seem more human and they seem more relatable, right?
hmm hmm
So,
hmm
yes.
All right. How
Yes.
are we doing? We're not.
Speaking of humans and relatable,
Yes.
let's do a little segue here.
Okay.
As most people know, when BYU plays football at a visiting team stadium, they typically throw a big party, a tailgate, and as part of those tailgates, they have charitable or service projects that they do. And there's absolutely that is going to happen when BYU comes and visits Greenville, North Carolina in a
Whoop,
couple of
whoop.
weeks. We've got the game time was just announced this morning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Ooh.
Thank goodness I'm tired of 10:15 p.m. starts already.
Oh, geez.
Um, and so we'll have a tailgate that starts 3 hours prior, so 4:30 p.m., run until 6:30, and we're gathering food and other non-perishable supplies for the ECU Purple Pantry, the pantry that feeds students that don't have enough to eat.
Huge
And
thing, and they do this, and the Cultural Hall is sponsoring the one in East Carolina.
that's right.
But they do this anytime they're on the road. When they're in Colorado, they do it. They're doing a fundraiser or gathering stuff for the Family Learning Center of Boulder.
That's right.
In Arizona, it's Operation Sunnyside Read and Feed. The Johnston Partnership when they go to Iowa State, which gathers new and gently used coats, shoes, blankets. You can also do via their Amazon wish list. They do in literacy in Texas. Um, I wonder, and I think they do. Remind me. I know Utah's playing in Provo this year. It's a home game for BYU,
That's
right?
correct. And I will be there. For those that are listening to the Culture Hall, be on the lookout. Let's get an Ussie at the BYU Utah
Yeah,
game.
get a nussy. Uh, don't they do something with BYU and Utah football for the home game? Don't they, like when
I
it's
don't
in
know. Do they
Provo? I
do they
think they
do
do.
anything more than give ice cream to the fans?
No, I think they do a huge service
Okay.
project
Well, could
kind of
be.
linked together. I'm going to put you on assignment for that. Will you find out?
Okay. I'll take a look and see.
Also, quick aside, because it was mentioned in one of those, the Amazon wish list, if you are a teacher, if you are something like that, that is the best thing ever. A friend of mine, teaches theater, said, hey, we're having a hard time getting costumes together. Here's our Amazon wish list of these things. And I felt like a rock star. I didn't spend that much money, but I felt like a rock star being able to be like, yeah, I'll get a shirt for, the lead to have a shirt that actually fits his body and is time appropriate for the show that you're doing. 100%. If you're not
That's
doing that,
great. Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking about even doing something like that for the holiday season and like putting together like socks, combs, blah 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 blah, and just going and doing a bunch of that for Christmas. So if someone,
That's wonderful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and
have a
just
daughter
like for
who's a high
friends,
school teacher, and she does that every year. She publishes a list on, and it's Amazon wish list. She sends it out to all the friends and family. There's no pressure. You
yeah.
spend a couple of bucks, and you're helping out a teacher who's teaching and helping her help those students.
How
Yeah.
much of that do you do in a year?
Me?
Yeah, I don't need like monetary amount, but like, do you make a point
Oh,
to do that, or do
yes.
you
Every
save like
every request, every request I get, I donate to.
I need
The rule.
$1,000, Verlin?
I don't get those requests. But the latest
Well,
one was my niece was raising funds for her volleyball team in high
okay.
school, and of course I threw a couple of bucks her way to help out.
Now, is it
Yeah,
a different for you? Is it different for you if the niece or if the kid comes to your house or if it's the mom?
yeah. The niece, it has to be the person who
Yeah, if
needs to
moms
ask for
come
it.
to it,
Yeah, moms don't
I'm,
count.
yeah, nope.
No, it's like Girl Scout cookies. If a Girl Scout knocks on my door,
hmm
it's a guaranteed sale.
Yeah, but that's Girl Scout cookies. So of course it's
Yeah,
a guarantee sell if it's, some guy that like, hey, these fell off a truck. You want these real quick?
I'm a
I
sucker for that.
I occasionally on Facebook, this is hilarious because no one has taken me up on it. Um, there'll be people that'll be like, "Hey, my kid's trying to make money for this. Does anyone have anything?" I'm in the center of the Salt Lake Valley, and I have my house, and then I have the side property. On the side property, there is a lot of like little twigs that have fallen from the couple big trees that I have, and I have told multiple people, I will pay your kid $100
Mm-hmm.
if they will start in this corner of this lot and
And do it clean.
rake everything to this spot. And no
Yep.
one has taken me up on it. And
Wow.
I mean, it's
And it's
$100.
real. It's $100.
If you
Yeah.
needed $100, but
Yeah.
that,
At $15 an hour, what's that? That's, 5 hours of time, right?
yeah, yeah. And I don't know that it would even take that long.
Six. My math wasn't my greatest
No,
asset.
no, it was
So,
not.
yeah.
It was not. All right. So now we get
Okay.
into some sports stuff. So if you don't like the sports, don't worry. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. But Austin Gooseby, I mean, I feel like BYU Speed needs this guy to come and play for our
Yes.
basketball team.
That's right. BYU continues to recruit at the highest level. Austin Gooseby happens to be a member of the church. He's looking at top tier schools, Duke, BYU, Texas, lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Mm.
And so we'll see if this young 5-star recruit makes the way here. He's 6 foot, I think 6'6", with a 6'9" wingspan, the
Jeez.
perfect basketball player.
Do we think we'll get him? Are they saying we think we'll get him?
No, they haven't said we think we'll get him, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. I think he's a good match for what they're trying to do at BYU.
Is he a one and done like AJ? Going to play for a
I
year and they
don't know
go,
if
or do we
he's
think?
ranked that high. He's just become a 5-star recruit. He's ranked as one of the probably top 50 players in the country, so maybe not one and done.
Okay,
Maybe
okay.
we can get a couple of years out of him.
I'm excited about this next one because Ryder Lyons, when he finally starts playing for BYU, he's just a commit at this time. We will
He's
be
a
able to
senior
have,
in high school right
yeah,
now.
yeah, we'll be able to have Lions and Tigers and Bears. Here's the thing. He's committed, but he's only going to serve a 1-year mission. Did you hear this?
I saw that he said he was only going to serve a 1-year mission.
Yeah,
That's what he says. I'm
yeah.
still waiting for this to be official and for someone to confirm from the church that he can serve a 1-year mission.
I mean, so here's the deal.
I have no problem with it. I
Yeah,
just
no,
think
I don't
he
either.
claimed it. I'm just waiting for the church to say, yeah, we're gonna have someone serve a 1-year mission.
So what, he graduates May 26th and then
Yep,
probably immediately goes on the mission, right?
I would think so.
Right? Immediately goes. So then he comes back July 27 and gets ready and in shape for a fall camp of
Yeah,
27. Now, how
yeah.
does that fit in with Bear?
That's a good question. Bear is a freshman this year.
Right.
So he will do this year, he will do next year while Ryder is on his mission.
Right. So he'd be
And
a
then the
junior by the
following year,
time
when
Ryder
he's a
comes back.
junior, the
Yeah. So
Ryder
why
comes
wouldn't
back.
Ryder do 18 months, get a little hefty, come home January? I mean, since he's picking the length of his mission,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
home January, have, 7, 8, 9 months, and then just come in and be like the guy for Bear in his senior year
yeah.
and be a backup, right?
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense.
I don't
The
know.
other thing that's interesting here in terms of mission timing is the real news of the story is he's as a senior in high school has just closed an NIL deal with Under Armour.
Jeez.
And no one has published the number, but doing my Chat GPT investigations,
Yeah.
the current estimate of how much Under Armour is paying him is somewhere in the $750,000 a year range. Senior in high school, is he going to get paid while he's on his mission
Of
for the
course.
NIL?
Yes.
Then he'll be back. He can do 5 years at $750,000, and he's cleared a couple of $1 million before he's even left college.
Jeez.
So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Can
would
you
be great.
imagine you're going to high school and you're rolling with this kid and he's like, listen, my NIL deal just came in there. It was like, I was just asking if you wanted to go to homecoming.
My portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
In a way, it's almost, there is a sad part of it, right? That this kid isn't just able to be like, yeah, I'm just having a great time playing football
Yeah,
and doing that.
yeah.
On the other side, it's great that there's that focus and it can provide that kind of thing for him, etc.
The other interesting thing with a BYU athlete doing this that some people have pointed out on social media, BYU is a firm Nike school,
Oh,
and
interesting.
they have an incredibly strong Nike relationship. So
Okay.
I'm assuming that Ryder will be wearing Under Armour except when he's engaged in any official BYU activities, in which
Yeah.
case he will have to wear Nike.
Or maybe it's a time for a swing. Maybe Under Armour is using the old Trojan horse to get into BYU.
Maybe,
Yeah.
could
I
be.
mean, if they're ponying up the money to get a kid that's a senior in high school, not that Nike doesn't pony up the money for BYU as well, but like, hey, BYU, how would you like to be an Under Armour school?
Yeah, yeah. Well, certainly Nike's got to be on the lookout. They got to keep
Sure.
their game sharp. My understanding is BYU is not at the top tier of Nike schools quite yet,
Mm-hmm.
but they could be raised to that tier. So Nike, if you're listening, maybe you ought to think about putting them at the same tier of University of North Carolina.
The next story, there's a new youth theme for 2026. They do a new theme every year. This next coming year, it is Walk With Me. The reference scripture is Moses 6:34, says, quote, "And thou shalt abide in me, and I in you, therefore walk with me." As was posited by some other folks, I feel like that's a great theme, easy to write songs with, easy to adapt and adopt to go, hey, where are you walking? I'll walk with you. You know,
Wherever you are.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd like to be more of that.
I agree.
Yeah, I know I should.
I think
You're
you should
agreeing
be
with
more of
me.
that.
I knew that's what you were saying. But being able to go, yeah, okay, here's where you're at. All right, I'll meet you there. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think that's great. The other interesting thing here is this not the earliest they've announced a new theme for the following year?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's usually about now, September,
Okay, it just
October.
seems like 4 months. Everyone's attention is going to be diverted to the new theme, and the old theme is going to die a slow death for the next 3 months.
I hope that someone does a parody of "Talk with Me like lovers do," and we could figure out a different way, but we walk with me. Just saying, throwing it out there.
Sounds like a plan.
Pearls before swine. That's what so many of my ideas are. First edition Book of Mormon, highest selling price ever. A first
We
edition
talked
copy
about this a month ago, right?
that it was going up for auction.
Yeah, yeah, it was going up for auction, and the initial bid was 85,000, I think.
Yeah. And Reed Moon, owner and collector of books, documents, and artifacts at Moon's Rare Books in Utah, purchased it $240,000. New record. Previous high was set in 2007. That was 180,000 was what it was
Right.
before.
Do you think he's keeping it for his private collection, or is this part of his investment portfolio?
Investment
Yep,
portfolio, right?
I would agree,
Because
100%.
what do we got? If it was 180,000 just, what, 15 years ago, that's $4,000 a year. I don't know. It's not a bad investment, I suppose.
No, that's all right.
I
There's always going to be a market for it.
I bid $75 and I didn't get it. I'm very
Darn.
disappointed. But it was nice to
Well,
just be a part of
well,
the
they
action.
did they send you a picture of the book at least?
Yeah, no, nope. They said, please don't waste our time. Where did you get this email address? Stop. Next news story. LDS leaders spell out the do's and don'ts of how to treat former members. Many former members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints talk of shunning, exclusion, and castigation as, quote, followers of Satan. Some say or presume that comes from the faith's top leaders as there is some kind of directive. And yes, some church leaders of the past have been harsh in their descriptions of those who have left the fold. But that is not the message that the 17.5 million member faith is sending to its current followers. In several essays under the church's topics and questions heading, leaders lay out the principles for how members can and should treat former members. And I love the way that this asks us to treat those who used to be members of the church. The directives urge Latter-day Saints too. You want to share some of these, Verlin?
Yeah, sure. I'll start. Speak with love, humility, kindness, and sincerity, showing Christ-like love. Serve them in meaningful ways. Preserve the relationship with love and trust. See them through the Lord's eyes, or in other words, how the Lord sees them, not how you see them.
Mm-hmm.
Be a safe source for discussion. Build on common ground beliefs and interests you share. Find other ways to do good together. Seek to understand and avoid criticism. Acknowledge their experience instead of comparing it to your own, which I think is a failure of many of us in those kinds of conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid being dismissive or judgmental and recognize your own limitations. If you're not qualified to speak on a topic or cover something that someone shares with you, just tell them that you're sorry that they feel the way that they feel.
Mm-hmm. Well, don't say that. Don't say, I'm sorry you feel the way that you feel.
No, I'm sorry that
I'm sorry you feel the way that you feel, Verlin. My gosh. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yep.
But what I didn't read in any of that is send an Ensign article Something
Yes.
out of the Liahona that says,
A link to the latest conference talk.
yeah, this is definitely you. You have so much potential. I hope that you'll see your divine worth. Something,
Yeah.
something, something. And it's well intentioned most of the time. In fact,
Most of the time, but well intentioned out of ignorance is poor intentioned.
yes.
And
Well,
so
yeah, yeah.
I,
Poor
I think
results.
you have to think about what you're saying and what you're doing. What I love here is it goes completely against, although it doesn't say that we're not talking about lazy learners.
Hmm.
It doesn't say that we're talking about people who've left the church but can't leave it alone.
Right.
It doesn't use any of those old trite kind of stereotypes that many of us have heard and been taught over the years. It really is trying to be genuine and Christ-like. And having talked to a few people recently who've left the church, the one thing that they have expressed the greatest gratitude for is just someone talking to them and not ignoring them.
Or
I think
talking
the
at
worst
them.
is they leave the church and no one reaches out.
Hmm.
And that's the end of it. And they're almost like persona non grata, even if someone runs into them at the mall or the grocery store.
Right.
Um,
It's the same thing with people that have never been members of the church and they get a lot of attention and a lot of hype when they're investigating the church. And then for whatever reason, if they're like, hey, this isn't for me, or this isn't even for me right now, and then we just sort of go, all right, well, next person, let's go to the next project and put our attention there.
yep.
People will, people recognize it. They feel it. My wife's, seventh sense is knowing when people are genuinely interested in her or if they're interested in her coming to the walls of the church and, fulfilling that sort of thing.
That's
Um,
right. I love the quote they shared from Elder Ballard.
please.
In 2017 at a BYU devotional, this is what he said about members who've left or people who've left the church. Do not preach to them. Your family members or friends already know the church's teachings. They don't need another lecture.
But if they
What
just
they need,
knew,
what we all need is love and understanding, not judging. Share your positive experiences of living the gospel.
yeah.
Amen.
Amen. Aaron Sharinian, this next story, this is a couple weeks old. He was at the fair conference. Is that what this is?
That's right. Yeah.
Speaking and talking about that we need to move off of the sidelines. Mentioned this in the kind of opening exercises of this thing. I love when people say, my faith drove me to this. I feel so strongly about this that you need to know about this thing. I was listening to a podcast recently, Penn and Teller, the magician mental
Yeah.
stuff, and a very very Christian person came up to Penn or Teller, whichever one is the known atheist, and says to him, "Hey, I'm in town." And I'm going to this worship service tomorrow, and I would love it if you would join me. And he said, I'm not going to join you, but I genuinely feel so cared that you would ask me to do that. And someone observing that said, didn't you want to just be like, you're ridiculous? Why would you, I don't believe in that, all of these things. And he said, listen, that guy is so convicted in what he believes that if he truly believes it, and he knows that he does truly believe it, he has to tell him. He cares about me that much that the things that he believes that he wants me to be a part of that. I will never be offended about someone caring about me that much. And that's such a different thing than preaching at someone, not actually driven by those things, but I brought 10 people to the church this year, or any sort of things that we can kind of do when we genuinely care about people and people can feel that it's different. You can make approaches, you can say things that if you mean them, if you feel them, it's different than if you're saying it because you feel like you have to or you should.
Yeah, I agree. This is one, I think I've mentioned this previously. This is one of my New Year's resolutions was to not sit and be a wallflower, not sit on the bench, but get up and be in the game in terms of being positive on social media. I would
Mhm.
give myself a C grade so far this
That's
year.
all right. Showing up,
Um,
C's get degrees, baby.
we'll say that in X I'm more of a D minus, and in Facebook I'm closer to a B plus.
Okay. It
Um,
averages out.
it averages out, but yes, if we can step forward and just show kind, listening, Christ-like approach to the way we live our life, you teach through example and use words only when you have to.
Yeah. He also shared some things that I thought were interesting. The church's gospel library app has 1.3 million daily users, which sounds like a lot, but in a 17.5 million church, that's about 6 or 7% of us that are using
Daily.
the app daily, right?
Yeah.
The Bible video series, 680 million views. Three churches, universities, and BYU Pathway Worldwide serve 150,000 students a year. The seminary and instant program enrolls over 800,000 young people every year. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square reaches over 4 million people each week. The church, almost $1.5 billion in humanitarian aid in 2024. Latter-day Saints gave 6 million hours of service last year in 2024. The church's FamilySearch.org website has 20 million monthly visitors. The vast majority of are not LDS. The number of churches missionaries, more than 78,000, directly contradicts the perception that young people are disengaging from faith en masse. Just a huge amount of growth, and it's something to be proud of. And I think it's great. And I need to talk to Aaron Sharini and have him back in. I don't know if he can.
Yeah, because of his official position
Yeah,
now.
but worth an ask. Worth an ask, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
We're buying. We like to buy Florida. We like to buy.
we like investments in Australia.
Yeah. But this story, Australia, half a billion with a B, that the church has spent in the last year, last 6 months.
That's right.
So much to the point that the folks in Australia are like, hold on. Who are these people coming in and buying all of this, and how come they're able to do it? And so much to the point that the LDS Church put out something from the newsroom that says, does the LDS Church buy a lot of land in Australia? And it's like, well, it depends on what your definition of owns the land. And it's like, guys,
stop defending.
Buying it. Stop defending it. Yes, we buy this as investments. It is the investment arm of the church that is doing this. We buy these farms from these families and allow them to continue to work the land, and that is part of it. Some of it is just land that they're purchasing for, leasing and these other things, but we are buying it. Why do we pretend? Why?
Just be upfront and be honest in the way we respond.
Yes.
And in this case, it's just the first group in Australia saying, you know what, this seems like this church is buying an awful lot of land.
Yes.
It's just making them reflect on their current laws. Their current laws make it very easy for U.S. entities to purchase land in Australia. And so they're just saying, are we still good with that? Is it not good? This is a chance for the church to, in fact, say, yes, we're doing it. And here's why it's good.
Yeah.
And here's what good it's bringing to your country.
Yes.
I think that's a positive opportunity, not an opportunity to be defensive and try to hide from it.
And how much would you love, this is not for everyone, but how much would you love for a Talkin' General Conference to be, hi, I'm investment head for the Corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I want to talk to you about what our plan, as we move to the future is and what that is. We know, and we'd love specifics, but I'd even love it if he spoke in generalities. We own, we have land ownership in each of these places. And in the future, we plan to move more into Africa because the amount of membership in the, the continent of Africa is clearly growing. And we want to be able to employ and increase the betterment of lives for the people in Africa. And we're purchasing this land here, and we're doing education here, and this is what we're doing. And we love that we do this under the name of the Corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we audited, like a very forward-facing, like, here is our intention. I would love that. I don't want every talk to be like that. That would be terrible. But I would love
one on a Saturday afternoon session would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Particularly if it's very honest and you find someone who's a little warm and isn't just reading the teleprompter.
Yes.
And can talk about not just the what, but the why.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we buying these properties? How many of them are managed as Bishop's Storehouse and welfare farms? Right? How many of them are used for purely investment and making sure that we're taking care of the talents and increasing our talents?
And the churches, gearing towards like micropreneurship and being able to help people, start to
Yeah,
make money, and this is how we are able to pull these people out of poverty and change generations because of what we're doing and these investments. Put some people on the face of these $500 million
absolutely.
purchases that we go, man, it feels a little cold, feels a little corporate.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's that. How are we
There's that.
doing? We're not going to get through nearly 27 of these, but we're doing all right.
No,
Let's talk
okay.
about the G20 Interfaith Forum.
Yeah, so there was a G20. For those that don't know what the G20 is, it's a group of 20 countries, the 20 leading economies in the world that get together and they have different forums. This was the Interfaith Forum held in South Africa, 500 global leaders, including six from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, gathered in South Africa. And their goal is to promote a more inclusive and ethical world by focusing on dialogue and service. The overarching theme was Ubuntu in action, which is in South African or Afrikaans, a way of saying "I am because we are,"
Ooh, I
which
like
is kind
that.
of a cool thing to contemplate. A
Hmm.
little bit like a certain wife of a previous president who used the term "a village."
Hmm.
Um, and yes, we're all products of not just our parents or ourselves, but everyone that's around us.
Yes.
Throughout the forum, church leaders emphasized unity, service, and self-reliance. And people who spoke included Elder Mtumbo, who spoke about the importance of putting aside differences to serve others, highlighting our global humanitarian efforts, working shoulder to shoulder with others. Elder Ojedaran and Elder Danielson Silva discussed how individuals can bring about change. They stressed that people have a divine potential, not only to help themselves or their families, but also to help others.
Just a huge thing, and that it goes hand in glove to the next story. English Connect, opening doors
Yes,
and changing lives. You've heard about this, probably. Did you know about English Connect?
a very little bit.
Sure. Teaching English essentially, it is an opportunity for missionaries and or like service missionaries can go and teach English. Wards. It is
It's a
just
structured church program that's fully developed, fully outlined, and it's basically kind of a packaged program you can drop into any unit of the church and
mhm.
begin teaching English to help people improve their lives.
You do not have to be a member of the church. You do not have to be expressing interest in joining the church. It is a community of people who, like you, are trying to learn English. For so many of these people, their economic, like, uh, not projection, but like
Their potential.
yeah, potential is the
Yeah.
word I was looking for. Your economic potential just increases so many fold if you're able to speak English as well, which that's a story for a different time.
It's the
But
language of business of the world, right? And if you can speak English, you can share thoughts and ideas with more people than any other language.
English Connect does stuff at my stake center. They have a
Yeah.
sign out front and says, "Hey, come learn English." And people I think are suspicious of it because it's at a church. Great program that we do, could do more to have it be like, listen, yes, no bones about it. It is housed in a church, and we would love you to learn of Christ and to to join the fold, right? But that's not what you're getting here. What you're getting here is a way to increase and better your life, your potential, your all of these things from people who care about you in a community that is supportive with a program that has been outlined. English Connect. And as I understand it, if you are, say, in a neighborhood of North Carolina or something like that, and you're like, this could be really beneficial for our area, you can, like you said, have it be dropped in and be able to do it there.
Yeah, and it can be implemented by ward members, by stake members. You can have missionaries assigned to assist. It's very flexible. It turns out our stake here in Durham, North Carolina, has an English Connect program that they run a couple of nights a week in one of the church buildings here.
Incredible, incredible. Let's go. We've got like 10 minutes or so and a lot of stories.
14. Church of
14
Jesus
stories.
Christ of Latter-day Saints is donating milk all over the place. So Tulsa, Oklahoma, the church shows up and donates over 4,300 gallons of milk in the Tulsa area. That includes a couple of thousand gallons to one organization and more to others. And then they drop into Tyler, Texas, not so far away for those that know East Texas, and donate another 2,000 gallons of milk. I'm just wondering why the church has so much milk that they need to get rid of. But it sounds like those church welfare farms are producing great amounts of milk.
Yeah, we're on to the meat, so we have plenty of milk to share with everyone else. And when we donate it, it's milk, so you would
Oh,
not mind.
No, out in the mission field, we call it milk.
Yeah,
So
it's milk. We're donating milk to people. Little Utah thing for folks.
that's right.
In a country with only 34 Latter-day Saints, the church donates life-saving machines to bless thousands of women. Two state-of-the-art machines now offer breast cancer detection in Montenegro. I don't know where Montenegro is.
It's part of what used to be the old Yugoslavia.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So in that range of Croatia, Montenegro, Greece are kind of in the same general, the Adriatic Sea area.
For years, inadequate equipment and limited access have left many, and I didn't know this, that someone from Montenegro are called Montenegrins, have left many Montenegrin women without reliable screening options. But this past July, it began to change at a ceremony held at the Clinical Center of Montenegro and Podgorica. Montenegrin Minister of Health, not going to say that name because I don't know how, received the equipment on behalf of a country and expressed deep gratitude to the church for its support, according to a release from the church's Slovenia website. So only 34 saints in the country, but the church saving lives by early detection for breast cancer for these folks. Huge, huge.
I love the fact that the area authority that was there says, as followers of Christ, we live by his teachings. When he asked about the greatest commandment, he answered, we should love the Lord our God. And then he added the second, love your neighbor as yourself. And I love that we're donating things like this, whether people are members or not, helping humanity.
Also exciting, President Nelson announcing a temple in Montenegro for the 34 saints that will be coming in as part of the 118 temples to be announced.
Is that
next
the announcement this general conference where they're going to talk about the fact that they can take now the young women's room and turn it into a temple?
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're going to have 500 buildings, and President Nelson is going to do his entire talk will be like, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I will now begin to read the cities and countries of locations of temples, and he'll just 118 rattle them off, and then he'll say,
it just dawned on me. Maybe it'd be smarter if they took the name of each one and taped it up underneath one of the seats in the conference center and said, everyone reach down below your seats.
Bring it up. If you find
have people announce
location.
Them. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be cool. A little irreverent, and it'd be a lot of this.
Yep, that's true. No. They have the wandering mics that always work.
Yeah. The deacon who can't get the cord straight for the.
We have wireless now, and ours ran out of battery halfway through Sister Moore's testimony yesterday.
I've never heard of such a wireless.
Bless her heart.
I've never heard of such a wireless option. What is this 21st century?
Yep.
Cool. I think it's just awesome.
The next one is equally awesome. So for those that have heard about it, maybe attended it a couple of years ago, Morehouse College, their choir came and toured or did joint performances with the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. And we're now doing a project at Morehouse, evidently in the chapel. They have hundreds of photographs of kind of the beginnings of the civil rights process and the engagement of all the different people from Morehouse College, including the current dean of Morehouse College. And the church has taken on a service missionary project to digitize all of those photos because they all belong to the gentleman who will be retiring soon.
So cool.
Very cool. And I love that it's a local service missionary who's probably 19, 20, 21 years old, who's leading the total charge here and making this happen.
And it is exactly like it sounds. Like, let's get perfect lighting and get a perfect digital capture of this particular thing.
Yeah.
That is cool. I loved my experience knocking doors. I wouldn't turn it down for anything in the world. I remember having a birthday cake for Jesus on Christmas morning with people because that's how they celebrate it. Like, I wouldn't give up that experience for anything in the world. But I am a certain type of person that really thrived in something like that. And some technical kid who really wants to serve the Lord and is petrified by doing something like knocking a door and then having to feel comfortable celebrating Jesus and a birthday cake would thrive in a situation where it's like, well, the technical pixels of the light and gradation of a whatever, and being able to engage that way. So great.
And it's going to be done right. I love
Yes.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Reverend Lawrence Edward Carter Sr. is the founding dean of the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel, where all of these pictures are mounted. And he speaks glowingly of the church and glowingly of the partnership that is allowing them to do this.
Hmm. We aren't going to get through all the stories, but I do want to get through two more. So let us talk about Dr. Snell and let us talk about the unique MTC experience. And then I know you're going to have to say, let's be done.
Yep, we'll go until we can't go anymore.
All right. Which one do you want to do?
I love Dr. Snell. He's a 95-year-old serving a mission. Now, to be clear, this isn't the new senior service missionary program where single brothers can serve. He's been a missionary for the church for many, many, many years, particularly in the medical field, and has represented the church in lots of different missions. But from his home in Kaysville, Utah, he still is serving a mission and fielding calls from mission presidents and various mission personnel to support them from a medical point of view and making sure that the medical providers they're going to are doing the right job and making sure that elders and sisters are well taken care of on their missions.
At 95 years old.
95 years old. That's awesome.
I think it's incredible. I hope, and I feel this way when we talk about like the apostles and some of these other things. Like if you feel convicted, if you feel it and it's a pure conviction of doing it, I hope that you're doing it. I hope that I'm doing it. I hope that, all the leadership, etc. Right? I hope
Yeah.
everyone is doing it out of a pure conviction. But if it's ever like, oh man, I have to do this, or what are people going to say if I don't do this, or I don't know what I'd do with my life if I didn't do it. Like anything, even the slightest bit unpure, I hope we don't call those people and have them be in that. But if it is,
Yeah.
I want to serve. This is what, I feel best at. I'm going to do this. Great. 95 years old, though.
Yeah. In 1994, he retired and jumped into missions immediately and has been serving ever since. And then he took on a more senior role with the missionary department in the year 2000 and has continued from there. The other comment I would make is I have family members as senior couples that have served missions. It is a phenomenal example to children and grandchildren. They don't have to preach their commitment to the gospel of Jesus Christ. They lived it.
Hmm.
And their grandchildren see that. The other side of that is don't let economics limit you. Of course, people would assume that Dr. Snell had the financial means to support his missionary labors,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have a desire, you're called to the work.
Yep.
As DNC Section 4 said, talk to your bishop and your stake president, and they'll find a way.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. So cool. All right. This last story. Every single person in this room, God was telling them that he loves and cares about them, says one missionary. After the microphone went out during a devotional at the Provo MTC, many missionaries said they received a special witness from the Holy Ghost and a strengthening of their testimonies. The devotional, with Elder Neil L. Anderson of the Quorum of the 12, was interrupted by technical difficulties when the microphone and sound system unexpectedly shut off. This came as Elder Anderson was speaking on increasing faith, and just after he said that faith will be tested. Just moments before, he had said, when you are doing important things, things get in your way. And the microphone shut off. And every attendant in the Provo MTC saw Elder Anderson transform into a vision of the prophet Joseph, and they knew. No, I joke, and I shouldn't. I think
I'm
that
standing back from the laptop
yeah.
just in case you get zapped and it comes through to my side.
I think, yeah, well, great. I'm not here to doubt anyone's faith experience. I think that that's an awesome thing. Being in the room where it happened, certainly it is a very, very simple way that you can say, yes, I'm doing a great thing, and there was a practical application of something getting right in the way, right as I was doing this very good thing. Elder Anderson, okay.
What I love is they rolled with the punches, right?
Yeah.
They had a technical difficulty and they didn't say, oh, let's redo this tomorrow night. They didn't say,
Nope.
let's wait for 2 hours while they figure this out. They said, okay, everyone just be quiet and we'll speak as loud as we can. And
Yes.
Elder Anderson proceeded, and every single person said that they were able to hear and gain something from the event.
Yeah. Now
Oh,
I
it's
feel like a
wonderful.
jerk. Now I feel like a jerk for making fun of it.
Well, I will tell you, when I was in the MTC, Elder McConkey came to the MTC to do a devotional one night. And
Mm-hmm.
the devotionals are generally what, 30 to 45 minutes long?
Oh, geez.
You want to guess?
2 hours and 17 minutes.
3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
He took two singing breaks along the way so we could stand up and stretch.
Sure. Oh, because
But he stood up. The man was a large man. I had never seen him physically until then. He stood up at the pulpit, spread his arms wide, and said, "Brothers and sisters, tonight I am going to talk about the gospel."
Oof.
And he spent 3 hours.
Wow.
I don't remember a single word.
Uh-huh.
And there are some challenges I have with some of the things that Elder McConkie said and did during his life, but I felt the Spirit and it uplifted me.
That's awesome.
And I took 2 naps during it as well.
And they were good, sizable naps. And then you got
I didn't snore. I'm sure my neck was bobbing up and down, but I didn't
Elder
snore.
Yowd, you're being Elder Loud.
That's right.
All right, let's be done. Hope that this episode has nourished and strengthened your body.
And if you weren't healthy enough to listen this week, you'll be healthy enough to listen next week.
Yeah, or watch. You can always go to YouTube and subscribe. Thank you to people that are doing it. I'm not sure how far off we are, but make that an effort because we
share it with your friends. Absolutely.
There's a little part you like. You do that. You share and say, "Hey, these guys, that was fun," or "That part made me mad." Share the part that made you mad. That's fine.
Exactly.
In the meantime, is that where we're at? Or when the time comes, you'll be able to travel home in safety. Did I already say that?
Yep.
In the meantime, go Tar Heels. Chris at Alpine Lakes Travel, Debbie Wanless, Chocolate Cake Bites Podcast, and the Tiger with a U will be saving a seat for you
on the back row of the Cultural Hall.
Save me a seat. It's sure to be neat on the back row.